Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Dungeon Boys, episode 11. 11. Much like the popular character from the show Stranger Things, this is the 11th episode. Her name is 11.
Oh.
We're full audio now, boys and girls. If you missed the recap, this is the first ever hearing of us being full audio. We are now on iTunes, of course, so if you love the show, please be sure to leave us a review. If you like what we do, go to patreon.com/Mediene Network if you want to be a part of that financially. But we're full audio now. We're not recording the video anymore. We figured, you know what? We're a couple of grimy southern boys, always sweating, always being grimy.
Sweating like sinners in church.
If you're into looking at that, then tune into episode 1 through 10.
Exactly. But the video,
That's your thing.
Or Josh's channel.
You're here.
Sweaty, grimy southern boys.
Yes, right. Yeah, we're here to play Dungeons and Dragons, and that happens in our imagination. So that's what we're going to do. So thank you for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, you're really just listening, unless you're staring at the Dungeon Boys logo intently.
Please, Lord, no.
Please, just spare yourself. That's a bad map. We're probably going to toss that map. But I think it looks cool as far as our logo. Anyway, Dungeon Boys. The last thing we did for our characters, Jack Law is in the Constable's bedroom. He's peeking in the door. Arlo is downstairs with the, I don't know if you introduced your names yet, but with the family they're looking for, trying to save in the manor.
Except for the one dude I just ate.
Yeah. Right, and you're not trying to save him.
He wasn't part of the family, so we're good.
He was cannon fodder from the very beginning.
There you go.
He wasn't even a guard or anything.
No, he was just a stable boy.
He was probably just poor rich child.
He was pretty beefy.
But he knew about it. See, he knew that they were down there, and he didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair enough.
Zenas is right. Fair enough.
May he be gone.
Mm-hmm. Damnation acquired.
They put him there.
Yeah, no, hold on. And then Grim just walked into the foyer of the manor, and he saw his father. He saw his father there. And his father turned around, and in perfect, I would wager perfect, cliffhanger delivery,
Yeah, it
said,
was good.
"What are you doing here, son?" And then... Y'all know our music?
You can use your imagination and come up with some really awesome music.
Yeah.
But that wasn't it.
Hey, here's the thing. If you listen to this show, I don't like to beg for things. And I'm not going to beg for things. But dang if I don't want to see somebody draw these characters.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I just want to see Burb.
Hey, I drew my character.
Okay, Jack Law.
It's all about Burb.
We're going to start...
This is Burb-centric.
Burb is main character, dude.
That's right.
Burb... Y'all don't even know. Of course he's not. That's
turns out to be like the big baddie and the hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to play this daggone game. Y'all keep getting me off track with your... These boys is jokey tonight. These Dungeon Boys got them jokes.
Just saying, we need more Burb.
Let's play. Jack, you're peeking into the Constable's bedroom. I don't think you've left yet. I'd like to re-describe that room for you.
Okay.
I'd like for you to roll perception, actually. I didn't ask you to do that the first time.
What you saw before, you may not have actually seen.
Just to refresh everyone, if you're binging this episode, please forgive me.
21.
Well, you see it all.
Cool, I leave.
Important things in the room. This room is a very ornate bedroom. There's a big canopy bed in this room. Across the room from the door that you're looking into it from, you can see kind of a tiled bathroom section with a clawfoot tub. You can see the white tiles on the floor there. The room is the ceiling is carved and ornately decorated. All the linens and all the things are very rich and full. You can tell the silk sheets on the bed. But there are a few important things that you notice. You notice the large bathtub and the south portion of the room. You're looking in from the north to your left, being the east. It is from the top down, but to your left, looking in, is the door that would presumably be out into the balcony that is over the dining room. You can see on the nightstand a kind of leather-bound book that is not open, but it seems to be placed on the nightstand underneath a lamp that is not on. Let's see. You can see a painting on the wall, a very large painting of two seemingly not super wealthy a man and a woman, a couple, almost a marriage portrait. You can see that picture on the wall of a couple that aren't exactly wealthy. Also on the nightstand, you can see a picture of those two people that are obviously the same people, but with two little boys in that painting, but it's much smaller. and it is sitting in a frame rather than being framed on the wall. And leaning against the door, going out of this room, is a wooden staff.
To the balcony?
Yes. It's not going... the door is shut. But to the right of the door, as if to be something that you would pick up on the way out of this room or something like that, you see a staff. A wooden staff. And the way this staff looks, it's a long wooden shaft. And at the top, the two ends of it part, almost like a beetle's pincers a little bit. Doesn't have the spiky teeth in the middle, but it parts, the wood pieces go around. And floating in the middle of this... Josh, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Josh knows what this is.
I know what it is.
But he can't tell you.
I'm not in the room, but I know what it is.
And floating inside this kind of open space that's made by the separating pieces of wood is a single green leaf. And it kind of spins around, floating as it's suspended in this area. And on each side of that leaf is a tooth of a beast. I mean, just any kind of canine-looking tooth, and they're kind of adhered to each side of the leaf. Yeah, we're doing good, I think, on audio stuff. But on each side of the leaf, it's adhered to that, and then you see the tooth. And you recognize kind of this style, this tooth style, as the same types of teeth that surround the brim of Arlo's hat.
Is that very unique to me? Like, that stands...
You don't see a lot of people with like straw hats like that that are adorned with a row of teeth. Like shark's tooth necklaces are not necessarily common. Puka shell necklaces aren't super common in this world.
So when I see this, I think Arlo.
Yes, you would likely think this. Wait a second, that's kind of like what Arlo's got. That style looks very Arlo.
Okay.
And let's see. You can see.
It's a very important world question.
Yeah.
This is just out of character, all this kind of stuff. But you mentioned there's a lamp, and it's not on. Does that mean it's not lit, or does that mean it's not like switched on? Like, is there electricity?
Oh, it's not. It's just not lit.
Okay, that's what I'm
Yeah.
wondering.
Yeah.
If there's like little parts where things are electric and stuff like that.
Sure.
So, okay.
There may be, but this in particular is just not lit.
Okay.
Would you care to investigate any of these things any further, or are you just going to peek in?
Is there any other door? Is there a door that leads to the rest of the house, or is the one that I came in the only entrance?
What I was saying is the door goes to the other door goes to the balcony. So the staircase that you're in is completely separate from the kitchen. It's kind of like a secret staircase on the back of the house. So it's almost like a secret corridor that opens into his room. But from that staircase that you're in, you can only go either outside the house into his bedroom or downstairs to the basement.
Is there a door on my right that leads to the rest of the house?
On your right?
You said on the left there's one that leads to the balcony. Is there not a door that leads to the rest of the house?
There's no other door that leads to a different room. The only way you can go... This balcony is over the dining room. The balcony in the top of the dining room.
Oh,
it's
so
still
the balcony's
inside.
inside.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
Imagine
I thought it was like a balcony like overlooking the courtyard outside.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Imagine a very high ceiling dining room
Yeah.
with... Remember, because you saw the big chandeliers that were hanging down, there's kind of a balcony around the inside of this dining room.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
All right. So cool. I'm going to go look around me, make sure nobody sees me going in.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through and I'm going to look at the picture.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I recognize anybody in it. Do I need to roll for that?
Roll investigate. Well, what's higher between investigation and insight for you?
Investigation.
Roll investigation. We'll see if you can't.
16.
I'm trying to decide whether you're deducing from clues or whether you're just like from your memory. These people do not exist in your memory. But from clues, it would seem that these people, though they look rather poor in comparison to Ronald Witherbranch, who is extremely wealthy, seem to be his parents. Based on the small picture of the two little boys, you kind of deduce that, this must be the marriage portrait of his parents. Not to mention, with a roll like that, you can see a little bit of scraping on the paint near the bottom right corner of this painting.
Scraping like a line going one direction.
Yeah.
I try and push it in the direction of those lines.
All right. What you see behind it is the door to a safe.
Okay.
There is a safe built into the wall behind this painting.
All right. What am I rolling?
Excuse me. Hold on. There is a safe there. And the only there is no dial or anything. It's just a keyhole.
Okay. Never mind then. I'm gonna go grab that staff and sling it over my back.
Okay.
And I didn't see anything else that particularly stood out, right?
There was a book on the side table. But other than that, not anything particular that stood out.
I mean, did I see any title on this book or anything?
There is no title in the front of the book.
Okay. Then it wouldn't stand out to me.
Okay. So just
I would like to look at it, but honestly, I would have left it if I was actually playing this character. I would have left that.
That's fine. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm gonna go back out the stairs and go down because I remember a spiral staircase in the basement that I never looked at.
Okay. So you're going back to the basement.
Yeah.
So as you shut that door, almost fortuitously, as you shut that door, you hear someone enter the room that you just left. But you head down to the basement.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't hear. Where's my staff?
No, you actually don't hear
Okay.
that.
I don't hear that.
Oh, no, I'm rolling for me.
Okay.
So you head down to the basement. The basement is that large rectangular room, pretty much the size of the whole house, just underneath. You see the big metal box with the door on it that you didn't go to try to get inside of, or maybe you did, but the lock was extremely difficult to pick.
Yeah.
You see all the storage and
I
everything.
think I rolled like a 15 and still couldn't open
Yeah.
it.
Coming in the middle of the north wall, there's the mimic chest that you discovered was a mimic before it tried to attack you or anything. You didn't bother it. You just discovered it was a mimic as it waited there for you. Coming in the north part of this room, at the southeast corner, so the bottom right corner is the spiral staircase.
Okay.
Also, while you're in the constable's bedroom, the longer you're in there, the more voices you could hear from outside. Kind of as this party begins to start.
Okay. Then I'm actually gonna go down that hallway I heard the woman's voice from.
The woman, because you heard of a woman kind of humming, kind of singing. Okay, so excuse me, need to remember where everything is at. It's been a while since we played Dungeon Boy. There, everybody. It's been like a month, or 3 weeks, or
Has it?
it's been a long time.
Yeah,
Just to date the episode, we just had Hurricane Florence come through. And
Last week.
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Did nothing here.
Not at all.
No. Everybody north of us, though, wow, they got some damage.
Yes, and if you are affected by the storm, we thank you for listening to this show to console yourself, and we are very sorry that happened to you. If we can do anything, let us know. So as you go down this this corridor, I'm gonna need you to roll perception for me, my friend. 11. So coming down this corridor, you can faintly hear the echo of voices you don't recognize, voices that sound a little bit gruff, like adult men. You can hear them muffled saying like, "We have to check on these things every hour. I'm sure nothing's going wrong with them." And you hear the other guy say, "Well, it's what the constable wants us to do, and that's what we need to do. You don't want to end up like the last guy that crossed him." And you hear that echoing, but you can't determine which way, whether it's coming towards you, the voices, or whether they're going away.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Arlo, I need you to roll perception as well, friend. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna stealth.
I'm rolling perception?
Yep.
Okay. Stand back, everybody.
I stealthed.
Okay. What do you roll for stealth?
I rolled a 19 plus 6.
Okay, you are completely stealth.
Nat 20 plus 4, my brother.
Okay, so there's a big kind of metal door. Ooh. And if you remember the room that you're in, the southwest portion is all these cages and beasts, covering the direct south all the way to the southwest and a little bit of the northwest. In the very north of this room is a wide kind of delta-esque staircase that goes up to a large, I don't know if I mentioned the door, but a large steel door.
Okay.
Here, I'll show you the picture of it if you would like.
We have pictures?
Yes. So,
What?
large steel door.
Oh, cool.
This is where you hit those switches. Mm-hmm. You and the family are kind of standing here by the cages. On the right of this room is a kind of a flowing stream of water that you can only assume is used to feed creatures that are down here.
Cool. Okay.
But through that steel door, you hear the exact same thing that Jack Law just heard. You hear those voices. You hear the voices saying, "We have to check on these things every hour. There's nothing going wrong with them."
Okay.
And excuse me, real quick. And the family, the father who you were speaking to that just learned that you are a servant of the skill, that you're here to save them, he also hears this noise. He doesn't hear what they're saying, but he whispers to you, says, the guards are coming. Shut us back in our cage just for a moment.
Okay.
Shut. All right, so they step back into the cage, and you pull the lever, I guess, to shut them back in the cage. And he looks to you and he says, "Thank you. I don't want anything to happen to my. If we're in the cage, nothing can really happen to us. They can't hurt us. But the guards are coming, and if they see you down here, they will kill you."
That's all right. I just ate the last fella, so.
He doesn't. He can't tell you that's a bad idea.
I tell you what, I'm gonna get out of sight. If it looks like anything bad's gonna happen to y'all, I'll jump in.
Thank you very much, kind frog man. What was your name again?
Arlo.
My name is Albert. Albert Fullheart.
Albert, I think you're just the man we're looking for.
Well, we'll make proper introductions after we get out of here. How about that?
That sounds good.
Okay, so the guards are now unlatching the door to the big steel. Unlatching the latch on the big steel door. The door is opening.
Where's my hiding spots at?
Yeah, you hear. Of course, yeah. Jack Law hears the door opening. What?
Where am I? I'm visualizing. Like, is this just like an open room? Is there like?
There is a basilisk directly behind you.
Not going there.
There's kind of some hay and stuff in the corner.
Hey, I'm gonna dive into hay.
Okay, roll
into hay.
Roll stealth, I guess, to see how well you perform
Creed
that.
sneaks
yeah,
down.
Exactly.
Do like an eagle.
I got 11 to hide in the hay.
Okay, so yeah, you're hiding in hay, and 11 is perfect. I feel like you have enough skill to conceal yourself in the hay. So you're quietly, not breathing too heavy, hiding in the hay. You're a small boy. So the door swings open, and Jack Law, you hear the door being unlatched. So what are you doing as you enter in? Or you follow them?
Gonna approach, but not go through that door. And is there like any curves? Is there anywhere they wouldn't see me if someone is on the other side of that door? They won't see me from the door.
All right, so someone's looking through the door to where you are.
Like if somebody is, I don't know if they're going away or if they're coming toward me. Is there anywhere that I can hide and I can see, like I can peek out and see the door, but they can't see me going? As
you travel this corridor, it does curve. So when you first start in it, you travel forward for a little while, then it kind of curves down to the left in a ramp. And as you continue, it seems to kind of spiral, but then continue heading in the same direction you were heading. So there is a spot kind of behind that curve if you would like to stay there and peek and see what happens through the door.
I would like to do that.
Okay, but other than that, the walls are very smooth. There's sconces that light it, but you are well concealed. It's pretty dimly lit. Okay. So you kind of use your cloak to cover yourself a little bit, and you're behind this wall concealed.
Should I retry perception and see if I can hear what they're saying over there?
No, I mean that perception roll is good. Okay. As they open the door, they kind of look in. They walk down the steps.
I see that room though, right?
Yeah, you can see what you see directly in front of you. The most of your view is you can see a basilisk in a cage, and you can see a stone guard with his hand out, turned to stone, or
facing towards
the basilisk. And the basilisk is kind of sleeping. It's kind of chilling right now. The exchange, it's kind of hard to wake up. The exchange between Arlo and the stable boy didn't wake it up, so it is sleeping. And the guards walk down this, and as they walk down, the one that you heard speaking first, he says, well, I see, I told you there's nothing going wrong, just like the last 5 times we came down here. And the guy says, well, Basilisk is sleeping. Let's chill out. We'll see how the full hearts are doing. So you see them walk down and then turn towards the full hearts. And you hear the first one say, "Greetings, prisoners," and then we're going to cut to Grim. Okay, so Grim, you walk in, and your father has just turned around. The man that you know to be your father, he is a man. He's dressed in a nice suit. He is a paladin by class.
He's retired though.
He's retired. He doesn't do a lot of adventuring anymore. But he is a tall, healthy-looking man.
Shorter than Grim,
but a tall man, right? He's pretty shorter than Grim, though. Pretty muscular, pretty fit looking. He's got short gray hair, combed, well coiffed. One would say.
Well kept.
He's a well kept man. Yeah.
But it's like short.
Okay, well kept, short. So I'm thinking Geralt of Rivia, little older, with the coiffed hair.
Shorter than Geralt's hair, but
yes,
yeah, pretty spot on.
Okay, so he turns around and he says, "What are you doing here, son?"
Father, hello.
Yes, hello. What are you doing here at the constable's party?
My badge is on my belt, right?
Yeah.
As we're talking, like as soon as I see him, I start like in answer to his question, I start like tapping it kind of with my thumb, like, oh, I sold a toad to the constable and I was invited to his party as payment, and I'm still just tapping away with my thumb, like just my hand on my hip thigh, and I'm just like patting it with my thumb.
Yeah, he reaches out to grab your hand and bring you in for like the handshake into a hug.
I accept.
And he whispers in your ear. He says, "Oh, so you're on business."
I am, yes.
I was hoping that your time with the Lonesome Investigative Department would take you away from things like the constable and to more I don't want to say menial, but some safer tasks. I don't want you messing with the council like I know that you want to do.
Well, Father, you are not gonna like what I'm doing then.
Well, join me over here. And he looks around the room, and as people are kind of shuffling into the dining room, there's not a lot of people stopping in the foyer. Most people are traveling through the foyer into the dining room, and he looks around, and he looks at the door to what is obvious, what that says "Keep Out." There's a door with a kind of a little banner on it that says "Stay out of here." And he looks to that door, and he walks over to it, kind of leading you a little bit. And he reaches for the door, but as he reaches for it, he grabs it, and he's going to try to open it to go in, but the knob shakes a little bit loudly, and a guard's head turns toward the both of you, and he says, "Excuse me, sir, that room is not for the party. Please make your way into the dining room. The constable is about to address the crowd." And he says, "I wanted to try to speak to you in private."
Okay. Forgive me, guard. We're a bit lost. Come on, Father. Let's step outside for some fresh air just for a moment.
Certainly, son. I think I could use some. So you guys step outside, and people are passing by, but there's a good bit of hustle and bustle, and you can kind of speak privately out here under the awning as carts arrive. He says, "So why are you here, son? What are you doing?"
Grim would be honest. With his father. I did get the job with the LID, as you know, but it turns out that that's not exactly the safest place or the farthest away from the council as we thought. I'm now a member of the Servants of the Scale.
The what?
It's an organization run by a family that the constable has apparently kidnapped.
What do they do?
They are all about resetting the balance in Mediene and fighting the council.
Exactly the dangerous thing I tried to steer you away from.
But exactly the dangerous thing I was diving headfirst into.
I assume that whenever you mentioned that you were going to, try to go with my mother and mine and your mother's wishes and steer clear from your antics of trying to get yourself killed by the council as fast as possible and go with the LID, that it will only be a matter of time before you step back in it. So tell me, is there any way I can help you this evening? As you know, I of course am not a fan of the council. Obviously, it takes no educated man to see what they're doing is absolutely evil.
Yes, I did not intend to lie to you. I was trying to follow your wishes, but
I know, son. I know.
An opportunity presented itself, and I cannot sit by. If the time comes, perhaps you could distract the constable. With polite conversation. You don't need to get in the middle of this.
Thaddeus, there's one thing in this world that I hate more than anything else, and that is talking to Ronald Witherbranch. But I'll do it for you. if it keeps you alive.
Thank you. It might not.
He looks like a he
do
looks
it
like
for
a
you, my
big
boy.
he looks like a big greasy lazy man, and that is all true.
Yeah. Oh yes, I know.
But he is quite a powerful wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Please steer clear. If you must interact with him, try not to make him mad.
I sold him a giant toad. I think he's rather happy about that.
He probably is very pleased with that. Your sister is so hard to keep track of Thaddeus. I don't know what we would do if we lost you. At least we can kind of know what direction you're heading. But your Ferris is absolutely hard to keep track of. So at least you're here tonight. I don't know what she's off doing this evening.
What have you told her of what I'm doing? Just as a.
She knows you're with the LID.
Okay, let's keep it there.
Okay.
She's a warrior, as you know, and let's just leave it at that.
I also won't tell your mother.
Probably for the best, yes.
It will be between us.
Thank you.
I'll be at the party all evening. If you can let me know that you make it out safe, please do. But if you cannot, I will assume that you did.
That will be my second priority after dealing with the business.
Should we
here.
develop a signal for you can? And he you can tell that he is concerned about you, but he's also a little bit excited. Like he's kind of getting some of his adventuring days back in. And he says, should we develop some sort of signal for if you need me to distract Ronald?
I will. I will produce a purple light.
A purple light. Where will you do this?
I don't know. That's the only thing inconspicuous that I can do that would not lead people directly to me.
Thaddeus, as your father, I would like to point out that a purple light is not inconspicuous. It is rather conspicuous.
It will not be directly tied to me, Father.
I'm gonna throw it over there.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be on my person.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I did not expect you to be
How
here. This is
about
throwing me
this?
for a loop.
Let me try this on you. How about a wave?
A wave.
You maybe from across the room, maybe.
I just wave my
No,
arms.
just a brief wave. Maybe like you raise your hand like chest. Yeah, just like a hello, father. Wave. You know. Kind of
Okay,
like we do at
I was
home when you see me
aiming.
from a
I
distance.
was looking for more. We're in trouble. We need this now type of thing. But okay, yeah, that a wave will be fine. A wave works.
Okay. If you really need me, yell.
I still like caca.
Or I could have a butterfly do it.
You could have a butterfly go caca.
Yeah, Zenas does. Grim does have a ring where he can control butterflies.
Ooh.
Oh.
If you see a butterfly, fly and land on your forehead.
My forehead.
Yes.
Indoors.
Yes.
Okay. What?
It.
How is this
Those,
possible?
I have a ring. I can do things.
Okay.
If it might not work. I don't know. The wave or the butterfly. We'll see.
The
Okay.
ring
All
of
right.
doing
I've got a list, a priority list: butterfly, then wave.
Mhm.
And if I see a purple light, I know things really have hit the fan.
No, butterfly is level 3
Very well.
because that no one can trace back to me at all.
Okay.
I don't believe. So butterfly is if we're in some deep doo doo and I need a way out.
Thank you for not using the words around me. You know I don't like bad words.
I don't either.
You're right. Of course. I raised you right, Thaddeus.
Yes.
I suppose we should go ahead and head into the party.
A waving, glowing
Yes,
purple butterfly. I mean,
going.
I suppose we should enter the party now.
Yes. After you.
I think we ought to maybe go our separate ways while we're in here, and you can. I don't want to hold you back, and maybe if you need me, wave from across the room, and I will see if I cannot distract Ronald. If you are in need.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. I'll go to the right, and you go to the left.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So he turns to walk away, and as he walks away, he turns around and he says, "Thaddeus,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know I'm proud of you."
Thank you.
And he turns and walks, and he walks into the the dining room. And you don't lose him in the crowd, but there's a big crowd in here. You walk into the dining room and you see this great tall ceiling dining room, almost cathedral-esque. There's two great golden chandeliers that hang from the ceiling. You can see the balcony around the edge of the top of this dining room. A great wooden table all the way down the length of it, full of foods and feasting items. and there's a crowd of people surrounded around. They're all chatting and having drinks and enjoying conversations with one another as you walk into this room. And you can see your father kind of go off to the right and find someone he knows and engage them in conversation. But other than that, you can see several guards walking in, and you can count 4 at current. 2 that are standing on the wall on either side of the door that you just walked into, and 2 that are kind of making their rounds within the dining room.
Were there any outside where we were?
There were 2 guards in the foyer as well, and there was one guard kind of helping people in and out of the carriage, almost like a valet.
Okay. Are there any doors leading where I am leading to different rooms? Like on the left side of the
On the
dining
left
room?
side, you can tell that there are chefs and waiters and waitresses coming in and out of a door on the left.
Mm-hmm.
These 2 actually larger doors that you can only imagine lead to the kitchen. On the right, there's also 2 doors that obviously lead to like a living room where there are also people standing with fine furniture and places to sit and hang out. But also on the left, closer to you than the kitchen doors, is a door, and above it says lavatory.
Okay. I'll
right.
stand around.
All right, so Grim is going to stand around. You don't currently see Ronald yet. And there are also several servants passing by. There are people that you can tell are servants.
I want to go into the living room, actually, and see what I see in there.
Okay. So you make your way into the living room, and it's just kind of the same situation. There are people talking. You're not really drawing a lot of attention to yourself because you do have your your regular old clothes on that are normally nice, perfect for a party such as this. And you walk into these rooms, and you can just see rich people having a good time, enjoying themselves.
Any doors leading to places other than the dining
No, just in the living room. There's one kind of at the south end of the living room that goes in, and then the door at the north end that comes out, and there's a wall in between. So as you kind of decide how you want to handle navigating where you want to go next, we can go back down to the basement if you don't mind. Or
That's fine.
okay, so we'll return to the basement. No?
I mean, I'm down for whatever, but no matter what happens, I'm pretty much just going to be waiting on the guards to leave that room.
Okay.
The basement room? Or
Yeah, and you're hiding, so I assume you're doing the same thing.
in the basement.
Okay, so just a quick check-in in the basement. The guards they exchange conversation with the prisoners. The prisoners don't respond. Albert Fullheart, being kind of the mouthpiece for his family, doesn't respond very much to any of their prods. They kind of poke fun at them and just give them a hard time for being captured or whatever. And like, not a good place to spend your Thursday evening, is it, Albert? With your family, you'd probably rather be at a restaurant somewhere. I don't know, traveling. He's not good at insults.
Not being in a cage.
Yeah. One of the guards has some food from upstairs that he just like stares at them while he eats. And when they're done, Arlo, you can see all of this, and you can see Albert and his family. They're very frustrated. They don't like being in this cage. But the guards eventually do. They walk back to the door, and they shut it behind them. And then slam down the latch, lock it tight, and they start heading back towards Jackalaw.
Yay.
Oh boy.
Our ultimate goal is to get this family out of here, right?
Right.
All right. Is the elevator thing still is it still at the bottom?
Are you going to return there?
I'm wanting to see if I can get these people out of here.
Do you want to check out the elevator?
We'll check out the elevator.
The elevator is back up top, and you do not see an apparatus to bring it back down.
Got it.
It doesn't seem like a viable way up, but I never want to tell somebody that it's not impossible. I don't know what druids can do.
All right. I do want to go and unlock the door to the thing, though.
The door to this room?
Yeah, the door to their lock.
Cage.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to open their cage. Okay,
Right.
So you return back to the cage.
Like, if I have to go somewhere, they can still be in there, but it won't be locked, so, yeah.
Okay, so you want to unlock the door, but not necessarily open it.
Right.
Okay,
Did I
so
see
you
him?
go... you did not see Arlo.
I'm
You did not
inside,
see-
you're outside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did not, because he was in the hay the whole time you were looking in. So you go back to the wall and you do unlock their cage.
That's right.
And Albert says, Arlo, what are you doing now?
I'm going to go back up top and see if I can't cause some kind of distraction.
He grabs the cage and he kind of jiggles it and he says, "You've left this unlocked for us?
I have.
Thank you. We will do our best down here."
Also,
Are you alone?
No,
Did
I
he
have
see
2
me?
other companions.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I'm
Yeah.
off to the side. You're like around the corner.
Okay.
No, I have 2 other companions.
Not
One
to-
of them's a rather tall, silent fella, and one of them's a big fella by the name of Grim.
Okay. Any other defining characteristics of these men? I don't want to toot our horns at all, but
Creepy
You'll-
and
we-
brawny.
Yeah, creepy and brawny. You'll see like a really, really big man. If you can think of a kitchen appliance that is a person, that's him.
okay. Well,
The other one has a mask on with a great big old nose. Smell real good.
I just want to know there are several people, many people, who would love to see all of me and my family dead. So we thank you for your help. We will keep an eye out for these people. And best of luck to you. Try not to get yourself killed on our account.
You neither. Stay down here. We're going to see if we can cause a distraction and get you out of here.
Okay, he kind of
I-
turns around and whispers to his family, like trying to prepare them for what's going on. The mother is whispering back, and the kids perk up.
I want to cast
Kids, there's
Pass Without Trace on them.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it'll last for the next hour. They have a +10 on stealth checks.
Good night.
If somebody comes in, they want to hide. If they can find some way out, they will have a +10 on stealth.
Okay. So you do that.
And can't be tracked except by magical means.
Gotcha.
Boom.
So I said kids. There's a little girl. Her name is Justine. I don't know if we've had made introductions, so I won't use the names. There's a little girl.
Got it.
About 8 to 10 years old. There's a big old man. He's their son, but he's a man. He's
Got
a
it.
grown man, and he is a beast of a human, much like Grim.
A mountain of a man.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Got it.
And he and then the family, certainly the father with the glasses and the mother.
Cool.
So he says, "Thank you very much."
Not a problem. It's my pleasure.
Okay. What did you do magic on us?
Yes. If you can find a way out yourselves, you'll find it's a lot easier. You'll have an easier time trying to sneak around.
Forgive me, sir. We're not in some sort of literary medium. Tell me what's going to benefit us.
I mean, do I tell him I cast Pass Without Trace on him?
It's a known spell.
Okay. Then I have cast Pass Without Trace on you,
Gotcha.
kind sir.
Oh, so we'll be able to be sneaky.
You can be sneaky, yes, sir.
All right.
10 points of sneaky.
Yeah.
10
So he like
extra to sneakiness.
so to test it out, like he like bangs his hand on the cage wall, and it obviously makes less noise than it should have.
Cool.
And he like looks at his hand, and he like leans down and whispers to the family, and they all like wave and say like thank you.
Did anybody hear that far?
The little girl is like clapping, and there's not a lot of noise coming from it, and she's having a good time.
Cool. All right,
Okay.
so I guess my main goal is try to get back up to where the party's going on.
Okay.
If I can cause a distraction, yay. But I'm going to see if I can get the elevator to lower down and get them out of here.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
The door is locked going back
The
inside.
door
right?
is locked.
All right.
The door is locked from the other side of the door, the big steel door. The elevator, there seems to be no apparatus, no switch to bring it back down.
Okay.
And the only, the little river, there's a grate in the little river. There's a grate for where the river comes into this room,
Okay.
but not where it comes out.
Okay.
So that could be a viable thing, maybe. Those are if you want to calculate exits to this room, there
Yes.
are 3.
There are 3. So
One of them is not necessarily for people.
giant locked door, tiny little opening with some water going through it.
Not tiny. It's probably 6 feet across.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a big. Yeah,
I could probably make it through that.
probably.
Cool. I'm gonna try for that one. Then.
It is like a small creek, like a creek. It's a man-made way for water to come into this room.
Mhm. Unless the elevator shaft.
Okay.
Is it blocked off at the top? Like there ain't
It
no
is.
getting out of it?
There are doors. There's a sliding door that really, to look at it now, it just looks like a room that terminates into the end of a hallway.
That is the word of the night. Terminate.
Yeah, I've used that several times.
Terminate.
Let's go to Jack.
All right,
real
I'm
quick.
gonna try to see if I can make it
Okay,
out the
yeah, be
thing.
thinking about your stuff. Let's go to Jack. There are 2 guards heading towards you that you can see that they can't see you headed towards you.
Number one, I really hope I can sneak the family out the way I came in, because there's something I want to do whenever I get to the door that I imagine there's still a guard at outside.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Anyway, how do the guards look? Does it look like I can take them?
They're beautiful.
They're both carrying spears. They look to both be wearing armorish stuff, but it's not super heavy. They're mostly wearing kind of cloaks, blue cloaks, and actually the cloaks are red cloaks. And you can see kind of some chainmail underneath those cloaks. They're carrying spears. They look like beefy boys, but they're not like particularly huge or anything.
All right. Is there any way, like, I rolled a 21 on stealth. Is there any way I can communicate to them, like they hear my voice echoing down the hall, but they don't see me?
Sure. I mean, you're in a hallway. They know which direction it will be coming from, but
I'd like to try and intimidate them.
okay, yeah, roll intimidation with advantage because you're a voice in the hallway. You gonna need it?
Intimidation 13.
So yeah, well, I need to roll against it probably. Okay, so both these guards are rather intimidated by. What do you say?
The same amount intimidated.
Yeah, I mean RP this. They're walking. They're just kind of having conversation. One of them is saying how bad he wants to get back and get some more of that food.
Well, you should be able to do that.
What the?
Quiet. Walk down this hall. Do not turn left or right. Look nowhere but straight ahead, and continue about your business and act as though you saw nothing.
Whoa!
Heard nothing.
What's going on here? Who are you?
It doesn't matter what's going on. You're going to die if you don't do what I say.
We're gonna die. You tell us what you are right now. They're like backing away. They're not doing what you say. They're going backwards.
You don't get to make demands. You're either going to die or you're going to do what I tell you to.
They unsheathe.
There is no third option.
They unsheathe their swords and they say, like, "Well, you won't like what you find in this room back here. If you want us to die, you're gonna have to come get us." And they back towards the door.
Are you sure you want to go into that room? I saw that man turn to stone. Do you think a battle will keep that beast asleep?
They both seem to be very thoughtful. They look at each other and they stop, and they say, "There's only one way out of here. And if you're in this hallway, we're gonna find you. So either you leave, or we're gonna stay right here and wait." They've regained a little bit of their confidence, but they're definitely not. They're not trying to. They're scared of you, but they're not trying to approach you. I'm trying to walk the line between intimidation and persuasion. Intimidation, I guess, not necessarily we're going to listen to exactly what you say. I'm trying to act like scared people. So they like get tight together and they look at each other and say, "We'll wait. There'll be more guards down here any minute. Possibly the Constable himself."
You're the only guards I heard assign. You're checking in on this group of captured creatures every hour.
He's bluffing, right? He's bluffing. There's tons of guards upstairs. Surely he saw some.
Tons of guards all guarding the giant party going on.
Unless he's some sort of spirit. Are you a spirit? Are you a ghost?
I'm no ghost. I'm a man, and I will kill you if you don't do as I say.
Well, you'll have to come kill us then.
Is this all happening like just on the other side of the big door?
Yeah.
Can I hear this?
Roll perception.
Let's see.
You definitely heard a shout.
Let's see.
Can he? No, never mind.
13?
Yeah, you pretty much. You don't hear Jack. You
don't
hear
hear
these
Jack.
guys conversing with an unknown voice. Because Jack is speaking in echoes. So by the time his voice gets to you, it may not echo all the way through the door.
I thought intimidation was to convince them to do something that I wanted them to do.
It's to make intimidation is whether they're intimidated by you or scared or not.
Okay.
I mean, I think intimidation doesn't necessarily mean they always do what they say they do. The same way animal friendship doesn't mean you get a pet.
Yeah. Okay.
Call us out if you want on that.
Can I do something real quick?
Yeah, I mean, you heard them. You heard them
Can I cast fog cloud on the door?
on the. What's that? How's that work?
It creates a cloud of fog in a 20-foot radius.
Read the description though. I just want to make sure that it is mechanically possible to pass through.
Does it
The
go
Create a
around
20-foot
corners?
radius. Yeah, radius sphere of fog centered on a point within range. The door. The sphere spreads
You can
around
do it.
corners
Yep.
and it's
Yep, you can do that.
Cool.
So, there's going to be
there's
fog on each
fog
side of
that
the
like
door.
comes out from around the door.
The first thing that you hear is you hear from the cage, "Daddy, what's happening?" And Albert says, "Let me find out." Arlo, what's happening?
Ain't nothing. We're just trying to work on a way getting out of here.
The fog is you. You're doing the fog.
Yeah. I do a lot of things.
It's all right, Justine. Just let this man's trying to get us out of here. Let's just be quiet and not draw any attention to him. Okay.
above Arlo's mask, you see his crow's feet crinkle in the
Or,
corner of his eyes. Not Arlo, Jack's mask.
I like that characterization that happens frequently. Like, he likes this kind of thing. All right, so as these guys back towards the door...
If you could see his smile, you would describe it as chilling.
They back towards the door. And Grim, I'm very sorry that this episode has been Grim light, but we'll get back to you in just a moment.
The next one will be Grim heavy, though.
Yeah. So you actually, real quick, they back into the fog. The fog envelops them, and as soon as that happens, they say, "He has a spirit, and we're gonna die!" And they just back against the door, all, like, very fearful, and you can hear them shaking and rattling against the lock on the door.
I would offer you another chance to live, but you don't seem keen on following instructions.
They can't even speak; they're so scared.
I'm sure you would tell other guards and try and save whatever semblance of a job you have here. Instead, you're just going to have to die.
Okay.
If I can hear them like backed up against the door, can I like knock on the door?
Yeah, you can. They just can't speak though. They're at max fear level.
That's fine.
Yeah, they're just a
little bit of pee
Jack,
coming
roll
out of that
perception
one.
for me real quick.
10.
You can smell the smell of urine. But before we do combat, back to Grim in the living room. By this time, Grim, you have seen Ronald Witherbranch as you walk around the party. We'll say you've walked around the party a minute, you've made the rounds, you've spoken to a few people, kind of done the party thing. You've seen Ronald Witherbranch walk through the crowd, up the stairs, and into his quarters, or into a door at the top of the room. For you, Zenas, where Brice was. For your character, a door. And you've seen him walk out, adorned in different clothes, his hair freshly greased back.
Freshly greased.
Yes. And he walks out of that room and onto the balcony, and he begins to address the party. And he says, "Well, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Witherbranch Estate, the Constable's Manor here in Lonesome. I am your constable, and I love throwing these fancy gatherings. I'd like to thank you for being here tonight. I have a few things to celebrate. First of all, I would like to celebrate another week as your constable. We've made a great deal of money here in Lonesome. The city is vibrant as ever. We have plenty of programs going on to improve life here on the Isle of Flame. Money flows in through taxes, and you, our richest and most famous, are doing very well. Thank you for being here, and these nightly parties are my way of thanking you for being the top-tier society that you are. Secondly, I also have another... Yeah. There's applause. Like, people are just completely infatuated with this man.
Is this like loud applause or just like golf clap applause?
Oh, golf clap. And he says, another thing I have to celebrate is my ever-growing collection of beasts. You all know how I love these new animals. I write about them in my journal. I keep a journal by my bedside, and I write down about my new creatures that I find. Plenty of information, but what's most important sometimes is how these things taste. I love exotic meats, and I want to thank everyone here who's helped me acquire these exotic beasts in my stables. Recently, Grim, you said his name was Thaddeus.
Yeah.
And you told me your last name.
Yeah, he knows.
And he's the reason I rolled earlier was to see if he saw you in the crowd, and he looks down, he sees you in the crowd, he says, "Actually, I have one person in particular to thank this evening, Mr. Baker, down here in the crowd here. Wave to the crowd, Mr. Baker."
So I just like raise my hand and kind of.
Everyone looks at you and gives you a little clap, not even knowing what you did. Brice has secretly wrote down reminded me that I said the words I love exotic meat. Anyway, he says, "Mr. Thaddeus Baker is responsible for allowing me to have the pleasure of owning one giant frog." Thank you, Mr. Baker.
You're welcome.
Maybe one day you all might see this frog. But I would love to thank you all for being here. And I just am very thankful for you. Please enjoy the party. I'll be down to talk to you all in just a moment. I'll be making my way down the steps. Y'all enjoy yourself.
Did you? How far away is the guard at the carriages?
Oh, he's out the front door.
Yeah, I mean, how far away from the front door?
There's probably 30 feet between the front door and where he's standing.
Is it dark?
It is dark now. Yes.
Okay. I wish to make my way that way.
Okay.
Back outside, and on the way, I want to kind of like pat, or if I pass Brunner, I want to like pat or wave at him.
Yeah. Your father, Grimm's father's name is Brunner.
You accidentally wave at him. You're like,
so Ronald Witherbranch is making his way down the steps into the party as you turn and leave. He doesn't see you. He doesn't see you leave. And you, God, the heart of the cards. So you walk, you kind of make your way through the foyer. And on your way out, though, one of the guards says, Mr. Baker, am I right?
Yes.
Where are you heading off to? The party's just begun.
Just to get some fresh air. Crowds are not my forte.
Oh, would you like any company?
I'll be fine. I'll just be right outside.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm going to have to insist that someone accompany you outside.
That's fine. You can join me if you want to.
And he looks to the guard on his right, who's on the right side of the door, in the door that goes from the foyer outside, and he nods, and the guard follows you and says, I'll accompany you outside, Mr. Baker. Sometimes I can get stuffy in here.
Yes, indeed. What is your name, son? It is a guy, right?
Yes. My name is Arkin.
Arkin. Good to meet you, Arkin. You can call me Thaddeus.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Baker. I'll call you Thaddeus. Let's go outside. And so he follows you.
Turn toward the stables.
Okay.
I walk toward the stables.
And he notices that you're not doing anything but walking towards the stables. He's sir, we can't. I can't allow you to go to the stables. A breath of fresh air is fine, but the stables are kind of for only manor personnel. I'm sorry.
I like stable air.
How far away are we? How far did I get?
You are out from under the porch, like you're kind of in the grass. If you're looking out from the door of the manor, looking back towards the center of the city,
just do it.
there is a stable. The stable is to your left and probably 100 feet away in the grass. And there's pretty much open grass between you and there.
Just do like Arlo did. Swallow him whole.
I can't do that. I'm not.
You can make it. It's just you and him.
You're just not trying.
No, there's another guard by the carriages, 30 feet away.
Oh.
What you thinking?
Thinking a lot of things right now. None of them are really playing out. That guard out there is still out there, right?
Yeah, he's still kind of dealing with people who are getting in and out of carriages, talking to people. He's a little bit distracted.
Okay.
Hey, they dragged your toad off that way. Maybe you're checking on your giant toad.
Yeah. No. That is the basic purpose. Arkin is his name.
Yeah.
Arkin, would it be too much trouble if I were to just stay by the man at the carriages and speak with him? Could he be my escort, or is that something?
I suppose we are outside. I probably do need to get back to my post, but like I said, Thaddeus, Mr. Baker, the stable is really only for manor personnel. So just stick around here and come back in the party. We've got tons of food. It's a good time.
I understand that, and I walk up to him and walk closer to him and shake his hand. I assure you, I will stay away from the stables. You have my word.
Thank you, sir. I love horses myself. When I get a chance, I go over and I check them out. But just try to follow the rules. Mr. Witherbranch just prefers that only manor personnel go over there. And he turns around and he goes back inside.
Okay. Does the other guy see me?
I mean, you're in his line of sight. If you tried to bolt it, he would possibly notice. I mean, we'll roll it.
Okay. I want to roll stealth.
Okay.
I'm wearing medium armor. I don't know.
Okay.
I think it causes disadvantage. I believe the type of armor that I have. Select armor. I had the half plate, which nope, that's the wrong one. Half plate does give disadvantage on stuff. But it is night and he's slightly distracted. So, however you say.
Sure. So that grants you disadvantage?
It do. Yeah.
Okay, so just do roll regular because he's distracted.
Lord. Now is the time. I got a 2.
Nat 2.
So
It's like a stealthy dumpster.
I'm not like
scooting across
running
the lawn.
over there. I'm just sort of like walking over there again.
All right, trying to do it slowly without being seen.
Just like I'm on a mid-evening stroll.
So again, the guy by the carriages steps out. He does see you. That doesn't beat his passive perception of not to. He steps out from behind the carriage. He says, "Sir, you've already been told. I heard your conversation. You need to stay away from the stables. I'll have to toss you out of the manor entirely if you don't come back inside the party."
How many people are near him?
There's no one else. I mean,
There's no one else, you
there's
said.
the carriage. The carriage that just dropped some people off has just gone away.
We don't need to know this
All right.
character's name, do we?
I mean, you can ask it if you want.
Not much longer.
Are there any bushes near him?
I mean, there's shrubbery on either side of the entrance to the manor.
Okay, I walk up to him. That's
Thank
fine.
you, sir. Thank you
yes, sorry, I have to
Throw punch.
I have to keep trying.
for. You tell him I have to keep trying.
Yeah, I just
What? Why are you so fixated on the stables?
am I right up on him now?
You are. Yeah, you're right up on.
Keep talking to him.
Oh, I just what can I do? Hold on.
Hey, look at that over there!
No.
I just wanted to point out this beautiful bush. Just rip
All right,
it out the ground and beat him
Yeah,
with it.
no, I got it. I know what I'm doing.
There we go.
All right. Before you do that, let's go back to Jack Law's combat in the basement. We have 2 separate rounds of combat. We'll eventually be taking an air conditioning break when this episode is over, but y'all bear with me. The sweat makes you think.
You know what? Everybody at home is in the air conditioner.
That's right.
We're the ones who are sweating.
Don't impose that on them.
Well,
They
yeah,
might
that's
may
true.
not be.
That's true.
They may have spent their last dollar on the show.
That is true. They could be Saitamaing. There's no air conditioning. This
Right.
it helps them condition. Yes.
Okay,
But not
You heard
there.
me.
They're-
back to Jack Law.
That's right.
A guard has just peed his pants. He is concealed with fog, and you are, I assume, approaching.
If I reduce them to 0 hit points, they're unconscious but not killed outright, right? Or are they?
I think the way that works is you have to say you want them to be unconscious. Now, if you say, I want to cut this man in the neck, but I don't want him to die,
Yeah.
I can't let that happen.
I want to unconsciousify these guards because they're just doing the job.
Okay.
They're being annoying, but
Right.
not deadly annoying.
Okay.
And one or both of them have pissed themselves.
So it is time to roll initiative. But I'm going to give disadvantage on this initiative roll to the guards. I don't know if you can grant disadvantage on initiative.
You
But I'm
can.
gonna-
I'm still
barbarians
stealth. Is there any
have
way I can
advantage.
dash straight into the fog and just?
You are stealth, so I guess that would be a surprise attack. So you get an extra. We'll give you an extra round. So you will let you attack, then we'll go into initiative order, which I imagine would be. What'd you roll?
9.
Yeah. So you beat them in initiative well. So you'll get two. You'll get essentially 2 turns, then combat will start.
Okay.
So there's a guard, one to the left, one to the right in the fog. I don't know if you can see in the fog. You will have disadvantage in there,
Okay.
Don't slip on the puddle.
right? That's how fog works.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So surprise round.
Well, he is obscured by fog, so they can't see him.
Right, but he doesn't have any
He
special
doesn't-
power
He's
to
not
see
that
through
far
fog.
yet.
Yeah.
Does it cause disadvantage or does it cause advantage on stealth?
It's advantage on stealth, or
Because you have advantage on stealth, but you have disadvantage on things to see.
that's your ability. I just created the fog.
Yeah, I can't in good faith allow you to not have disadvantage imposed on you when you also can equally not see in the fog.
Okay.
I think that's how fog works
Alright.
in general, because that's how we did it last time. You had disadvantage in the fog.
So my first stealth attack is thrown out because of the fog?
No,
Yeah, but I mean, when I get in there, I won't have advantage. I won't have sneak attack.
you will. You still have a surprise round.
Okay.
But yeah, sneak attack. You won't have advantage on the attack roll.
Sneak attack. Oh, wait. I don't have to have advantage on
No, it's
sneak
like 3
attack.
different things.
Mhm.
I just have to
Advantage,
have stealth.
a friend
Yep.
nearby,
Yeah.
or
You're-
stealth.
Well, yeah, you're stealth. So your first one will definitely be sneak attack.
Yeah. No, never mind. I have to have advantage or friend nearby. There's no sneaking involved.
All right. Okay, but you still get 2 turns going in.
All right. So first guard, I'm just gonna dash in, and I'm gonna with my cleaver, my flat on the front end cleaver. I'm just gonna stab him right in the face with the long part of the cleaver.
Ow. Wow. Okay. That's fine. Do that.
Okay.
So it's like a punch with like a fine piece of metal.
Right.
So it's gonna just
18.
18. That was with disadvantage.
Huh? Oh, disadvantage. No, that is a 13.
That actually. Well, the whole thing is they can't see, so you roll regular. I'm sorry. They can't see, so that gives you advantage. You can't see, disadvantage, so equal roll. Your first roll counts. I would think we probably had people screaming at us at that point if they were watching. So yeah, your first one hits.
Okay.
Roll damage for the front end of your cleaver.
Shouldn't have killed that guy in the marketplace then, because I sneak attacked him.
I was nearby.
Oh, yeah, that was what it was then. All right,
That poor guy had it coming.
This guy gets no sneak attack damage? No, okay. So, yeah, just a D8. And if he moves, I'm doing Booming Blade. If he moves, he takes another D8.
Right.
Alright, and then
Okay, so how much was that first damage?
7 plus 4, so 11.
Oh, so he is immediately knocked. And you're intentionally trying to knock him out. He's immediately knocked out.
Okay.
That guard. So you just slide through the fog and stick your cleaver in his head. And he slams his head on the back of the steel door, and he just slumps to the ground. The guy next to him cannot see you. He shrieks in terror.
I have another attack, right?
You certainly do.
This is now my turn. Oh, please.
That guy, no, so much so he drops his spear. You hear the sound of his spear dropping on the ground. He's unarmed. That's just too scary. That's too. What happened? What has happened here is too scary.
He didn't see it though. He just knows the other guy's like.
He was so close. He was so close to the guy that he could see this guy out of the corner of his eye, and all he saw was like something come out of the darkness, hit him in the head. His head slammed back, and the guy just slumped to the ground without a sound.
Okay. So I rolled 14 plus 6. I rolled 20.
Yeah. Arlo on the other side of the door. You hear boom.
This one, I switched the cleaver around and used the bone breaker on the back on his temple.
All right, so you hit him as well.
Yeah.
Roll damage for that.
5. If he moves, he takes more.
Okay.
No, 5 plus 4, 9.
All right, so you hit him good and hard, and you hit him so hard on the temple that he's dazed and he falls to the ground. And he's now laying in a puddle of his own pee-pee. And he just is looking up. He's like, what are you? What are you? He sobs in tears. And so he's like, he tries to reach for his spear. And he can't see. He's super scared. He's prone. So we're full of disadvantage right now. His 2 disadvantages negate your 1 disadvantage. So it doesn't matter because he doesn't hit you with the first one. And he just like, you're just standing there, and you can just hear, you can feel him, you can feel his movement, and the spear comes up out of the fog, and like in time enough for you to like move your head back, and the spear passes by your head, and it comes back down as he shakes, and it's your turn again.
So, 11 damage was enough to knock the other dude outright.
Yeah.
How much damage can I do with a kick?
1d4 plus your strength.
Well, that's if you're proficient. If it's regular, it's just 1.
Dang it.
1 damage.
Is that it?
Unarmed strike is just 1 damage.
Yeah.
Oh, so proficient is d4.
No, it's a feat to get d4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a monk
thing.
or fighter or barbarian thing.
All right, so you can do 1 damage with a kick.
Okay.
And
I
also
don't think barbarians
that kind of meta
If
should
either
be
monk
outlawed
or
because you don't because Jack doesn't know. I just did 9 damage.
I felt the impact. I know how hard I hit the last guy.
Yeah.
I know.
But can you calculate it that it will require 2 more kicks to knock him out?
Jack can. Okay, so again, just going back down with the back of the knife. He asks what I am. I tell him, I told you, I'm the man. Oh, please. 16?
That hits.
Thank God. So, 8.
Brice, I can't in good faith let you not kill this guy. You did 8 damage. Like, I can't in good faith allow you to hit this guy twice with the back of a cleaver. I mean, y'all can tell me. We can do a table rule on that. What do you think? 8 damage.
You're
trying not to do it.
Yeah,
so
I
hard.
feel like I have control over that. I feel like I know what will kill him.
Okay, all right.
I feel like I dial it back.
Okay, so
I also didn't do booming blade on this.
True. So you he shoots his spear up, and you say, "I told you I'm a man." And you smack him again in the head with your cleaver, and he slumps to the ground. But you can hear them both breathing as they lay in a puddle of guard number 1's pee-pee.
Pee-pee.
And that ends combat for Jack Law. Let's return to Grim. Sorry, Arlo. We'll get back to you probably, I guess, in the next episode. No, probably make it back. I don't depend upon what kind of time we have. But I do want to resolve Grim's combat.
Arlo's like knocking on the door, like shaving a haircut style.
Yeah. So Grim, you step to the guard.
Yeah. Can I like just attack him straight out, or does that require initiative?
He sees you, so that would require initiative.
Okay. Then
You do it.
initiative.
All right, let's roll initiative.
I'm not gonna. I don't want to like make a melee attack against him, but. Ooh boy, 19.
You beat him.
Yes. Excellent. I'm gonna try to hit him. I'll do what you did. I don't want to kill him.
You don't want to kill him. You want to knock him out. All right, non-lethal at the manor.
Grab him by the face and beat his head on the carriage.
God, so never mind. I can't impose what I'd like on the game.
I'll impose what I would like. I thought when he was gonna stealth, I figured you'd just be like by the carriage, you'd like do the like kick the tire and like walk around to the other side. He got back there, he's like, "Yep, don't make him like this anymore," and then just bolt when he couldn't see him anymore.
All right,
No, 11 to hit.
11 is not going to hit actually.
Okay, well then I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon.
What?
Yeah, casting. It's a second level spell. Casting time is 1 bonus action. You create a floating spectral weapon within range that lasts for the duration or until you cast the spell again. When you cast the spell, you can make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. On hit, they take 1d8.
Okay, so you can. So that didn't work. So you can punch or whatever, and then you can cast the spiritual. Can you attack this turn with it?
Yeah, when you cast the spell, you make a melee spell attack,
cool.
and then every turn after, it's a bonus action to move it and
all right, you gotta tell me what it is. You gotta tell me where it is.
The spiritual weapon.
Yeah,
that's what Daddy used in our.
Yeah.
The weapon can take whatever form you choose. I want it to look like the hammer I gave up.
Okay, cool.
So like a fridge with a stick.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
No,
mini fridge.
Like
There you go.
like the axe head that's been extended and flattened on one end and whatnot.
Nice.
Dear Lord.
If I ever play a cleric, my spiritual weapon is going to be a chainsaw.
Nice.
Well,
When we were playing with Dad, I could swear that he wanted to make like I just could see him making a freight train that was going to come and hit this guy or something.
All aboard!
But can't do that.
9.
Dang, dude, I'm sorry.
This is terrible.
I'm sorry. That's so.
Hammer's aiming for his head.
Where is the hammer?
Behind him.
I pictured you try to punch and then like. So you punch him in the you punch him in the chest and you just hit his chainmail and you just it absorbs a lot of the impact.
Before the hammer swings, I like punch him like, oh, you were ready for this one, weren't you? And then the hammer just misses.
When the hammer just whiffs and he says, "I love beating the crap out of rich people," and he like. Because you punched him, he just goes fist fight. He doesn't know he's fighting with the cleric. Well, because he didn't see the hammer. So he just like he just goes fisticuffs with you, and he is going to
use the hammer.
He is going to try to punch you.
Bring it.
What? 8 beat your DC?
No.
AC?
AC, yeah.
So he.
I was looking at your health.
Again, we're back in. We're back.
You cannot touch me.
We're back in a boxing match. So like he punches you, and you're able to like. Weave your head out of the way.
Okay. I feel like Grim is smiling.
Grim is smiling because he doesn't know. Grim loves to like fight, not to kill, but he loves to fight. So this is very cool that he's decided to get fisted
in this campaign.
Sleeves are rolled up at this point.
17 to hit.
That will hit.
I deal. I'm not using necrotic, so I deal 8 damage.
All right, that's a good hit.
Does it knock him out?
It does not knock him out.
All right, well, going with the weapon.
Okay.
That is an 11 to hit.
It will not. Sorry. Excuse me. What was that damage?
8.
Okay. All right. So you hit it. Where are you punching? Torso or jaw?
Going for the jaw.
All right. You punch him in the jaw. His head comes down. And he spits out a mouthful of blood onto the ground. He staggers back a little bit. Like
Oh!
and it's his turn. So he's gonna take out a spear this time. He's fed up. You jacked him in his jaw pretty good.
Okay.
So he whips out his spear and he's gonna stab you with it.
He's gonna try.
What's your AC?
15.
Ooh boy, that just barely hits. Okay. So he does. He jabs you with his spear for 3 damage.
Oh boy.
So it's pretty much like you just got stabbed, but like you're still standing there. Like what?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So he tries to put the spear through your chest, and the armor that you bought like catches most of the damage. And he like looks at you surprised, like you're not here for the party, are you? No, he says, you're not here for the party, are you?
Oh, that's a trade secret, my friend. And
Please hit after this.
21 to hit with another 8 damage. I'm going for. Am I taller than him?
He is. You are taller than him.
I'm just going straight for the nose. I want to just knock him down.
Oh yeah, you punch him in the nose. You can feel his nose snap beneath your fist, and he's not dead, but his eyes flash wide as if he had just died. And then he closes his eyes, and you can hear him breathing as he slumps to the. He falls backwards onto the ground.
Just watch the lights go out.
As your what color is your spiritual weapon? Purple.
Yeah.
As your purple hammer floats above his body.
I'll grab him and pull him to the bushes and kind of hide him a little bit. Do I need to roll for that?
Yes.
Roll to move him.
Roll to hide him.
To hide him. Roll what? Survival.
Roll to conceal body.
Yeah, let's roll survival.
12.
Yeah, that'll do it. You got him. Well concealed.
And then I run for the thing. I'll just let my spiritual weapon die because I don't want to cast the spell again. Sure. So it'll just follow me and then just fade out as we get closer.
Okay.
So I run to the stables.
Okay, for a brief second, let's revisit what happened at the steel door. We will end this episode in just a few minutes. But back at the steel door, there are 2 men knocked out in a puddle of urine. Jack stands above them with a cleaver with just a little bit of blood on it, on the back end. Yeah, and he hears knocks on the other side of the door from Arlo. But you don't know that. It's from Arlo. You know that you hear knocks.
The lock's on my side, right?
Correct.
I'll unlock the door. And
okay.
Come in.
So you so you raise the... Are you assuming that is Arlo? Are you assuming that is a friend?
I was assuming that whoever's on the other side needs to be dealt with either way.
Okay. So you raise the big steel latch on the door, and the door swings open, and before you stands your friend Arlo.
Walking through the fog. I want to disperse the fog.
The fog disperses.
Oh. I was wondering if that fog was you, Arlo. I'm going to grab both of them by the collar and start walking into the room with them.
All right, that's a perfect way to end this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're on iTunes, please share us with your friends. I think we're honing in on this D&D stuff. That was a good episode. I truly enjoyed it. Thank you again for listening. If you want this knife, Brice has made a knife. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Tank Media Games. Leave us a review if you like the show, and if you really love the show and you want to help us make it better, go to patreon.com/tankmedianetwork if you want to join us financially in this venture.
I'll put some real live guard blood on the back of it for you.
Yeah,
there you go.
Use that
bone crusher and all.
Bone crusher. But we'll see you in the next episode. We love you very much.